Welcome to Diagramming Lesson 2. The first lesson was pretty quick, and now what I want to do is go through and help you a little bit more by just reviewing what we did before and then just showing you some more examples. The first thing I'd like to do is show you that we have this interesting structure, and it's a vertical and a parallel line intersecting, and that becomes our baseline for every sentence that you will ever diagram. So you're always going to write this first. So whenever we do a diagramming practice, you should always write this first. The only thing that you'll have to do is be careful, because sometimes you won't need quite as long a line on either side. When we're doing a simple sentence, like the following sentence, it's very easy. So this is the simplest kind of sentence, and it's Michael ate. If I'm going to take the sentence Michael ate and diagram it, the first thing I have to do is remember that on the left-hand side over here, we need to put the subject, which is usually going to be a noun or a pronoun. Let me put that over here. Left subject equals noun or pronoun. So we need to find the noun or the pronoun in this sentence. And in this sentence, there are only two words, and only one of them can be a person, place, thing, quality, or idea, and that's Michael. So we're going to type in Michael, and we're going to move him a little bit so that he's up where he belongs to be, because we need everything to be on top. There we go. And then, obviously, we can do this one because there are only two words, Michael ate. So we'll put in that, and that is easy if you think who or what of the noun, of the verb. Who or what ate? Michael. We know, therefore, he must be the subject of that verb. So who or what? More on that later. But to review, simply put the verb there. Notice I put Michael in capital letters, and I put a period after ate. We should include the punctuation. That helps everyone. And then we're done. There we go. So that's the simplest thing. And that over here on the right-hand side, we'll say that going to be the predicate. The predicate really is the verb. Okay, and at this point, it's the verb, and we will add to that later all the complements that go with it. But for now, we're going to do simple sentences. So, Michael ate. And it's going to be simply one or two words. If it's going to be a helping verb, we can have words like will eat, where will is the helping verb. Okay? The word will and all the words and forms of the verb to be will be included in that. Well, more about that later too. Don't want to confuse you too much now. There. So now we're going to move forward to the next part of this and show you a little bit more. I'm going to give you some examples. So another baseline will be drawn there, just like that, and another divider, and then I'll give you another sentence. And the sentence is going to be fish swim. And you might want to try this on your own on a piece of paper. Pause this and then come back and I'll show you how to do it. Press pause now. Okay. So you pressed pause and now you want to see how to diagram this, and I think it's pretty basic. We're going to put the noun on the left-hand side, also known as a subject. And so I don't do it that way. What I do is I don't look for that first. I always look for the right-hand side first. And I ask, what's the action? And that's something I should give you here as a little clue, you know. What's the action? What's happening in this sentence? And I know that swimming is happening, and therefore, and it's probably the verb, so I'll put swim here, put the period, and that works out. Now I'm going to put fish over here and capitalize that. And that's how I would diagram that sentence. Let's go on to another one and see if it gets any harder. And it does, obviously. It gets a little more sophisticated. So I'm going to draw myself the baseline again. I'm not going to make it quite as big. And draw the divider between the subject and the predicate. And I'll now give you the sentence. And the sentence is a little tricky. It's Paul and Bill play. So we have a problem here. Remember, the first thing I wanted you to do was I want you to find the verb. So you're going to ask what's happening, what's going on. And I think playing is that answer. So I'm going to type play here. Once that's done, I then ask who or what of the verb. So I say who or what plays. And let me write that down for you too. To find the subject of a verb, ask who or what of it. And in this case, who or what, oh, I better fix that. Who or what of play? Well, who or what play? Well, I think the answer is quite obvious. It's Paul and Bill. We have a problem there, though. We only have one line, and we have 2 words. How do we do that? In the previous lesson, I quickly showed you how to do it. We have to branch it. So branching becomes something you'll do whenever you have a compound subject or a compound predicate. So you just draw your branch like this, remembering that if there's a coordinating conjunction, and there usually is, we'll draw that line so we can write that there. And now we can go over and type in Paul. And down here we'll do Bill. And then we have to do and when we do that, we have to make sure that we rotate it. So rotating it, if you're writing it, you just obviously you don't have to rotate it, but you'll just write it by turning the paper probably. And there you go. So now when I look at that sentence, I can say Paul and Bill play, which is exactly what I wanted to say. I've used every single word. That's another thing you have to do when you diagram a sentence. When you diagram, you must use every word. And that becomes part of the puzzle. And you know you're done when you've used every single word in the puzzle. Okay, I'm going to give you a new one and see how you do, and then we'll be done this lesson. So let's see how you can do here. Here's your new sentence. We'll draw the baseline, knowing that you may have to draw a branch, okay, or even 2, because it works the same way on either side, left or right. If you have 2 subjects and 2 verbs, then you'll do it that way. Here's your sentence. Beth reads and writes. There you go. So now I want to give you a chance to diagram that. And so you can pause the video here and try it on your own on your piece of paper and then come back and check it out. So press pause now. Okay, so you've already done this. Let's take a look on how you did it. Obviously, we have to ask what's happening in this sentence. When I look at the sentence, I know what's happening. Reading and writing is happening. So those are going to appear on the right-hand side, reading and writing. And I've noticed there's 2 things. Therefore, there's going to have to be a branch. And a coordinating conjunction will have to be written down as well. So I'm going to branch it out. And I'll draw the line for the coordinating conjunction and. And now I can start just entering that information. So I know that reads is one of them, and writes is the other, with the period. And then I have to do the coordinating conjunction, and rotate it. And put that in, and then I'm almost done. And I know I ask who or what. So the first thing I do is find out what's happening, what's going on in the sentence, put it in, that's the predicate, and then I ask who or what is doing that, and it's Beth. And obviously it's the only word left, too. Remember to capitalize it because it's the first word in the sentence and it's her name. And that is how that one is done. Great. Now you can go on and do some of your exercises. Thank you.